Most financial advice suggests you need $1 million to be wealthy, or at least a six-figure salary to feel secure. But the math of wealth building shows that the most significant shift in your trajectory actually happens at a much lower, often overlooked number. That number is $20,000. Reaching this specific amount changes the mechanics of how you save and how you perceive risk. When your savings are at zero, your brain operates in survival mode. In this state, every decision is a reaction to immediate scarcity, leaving no room for long-term logic. Survival mode consumes your entire mental bandwidth with short-term threats, like next week's bills or an unexpected car repair, making it impossible to dedicate focus toward growth or opportunity. Without a cash buffer, fear becomes the primary filter for your choices. You aren't looking for the best career move, you're looking for any move that prevents a financial crisis. This creates a cycle where you take low-paying jobs out of necessity, stay in toxic work environments because you can't afford a gap in pay, and live in a state of constant stress over routine expenses. Standard budgeting tips often fail here because a brain in scarcity mode cannot prioritize the future while the present feels like an emergency. You have to break the biological loop of survival before you can begin to build wealth. Saving your first few $1,000s is a slow, manual process. It's like trying to get a heavy boulder moving. The initial friction is high, and progress feels negligible compared to the effort you're putting in. This chart shows a timeline for saving $1,000 a month with an 8% return. It takes 19 months of discipline to reach that first $20,000. However, the next $20,000 takes only 17 months. Your initial capital contributes its own returns. As the portfolio grows, the timeline collapses. At $400,000, your investments generate $20,000 of growth in just 5 months, progress that originally took nearly 2 years. The $20,000 mark is the threshold where your capital begins doing enough work to measurably shorten the distance to your next goal. The data supports this shift. Research from Vanguard indicates that having just $2,000 in emergency savings increases a person's financial well-being by 21 relationship with your employer. When you're paycheck to paycheck, you have zero leverage. You are forced to accept whatever conditions are handed to you because you cannot afford to lose the job. $20,000 functions as walking away money. It's a quiet safety net that allows you to negotiate from a position of strength rather than desperation. Even if you never quit, having that cash makes you more confident. You're more likely to ask for the raise you've earned or set boundaries with a difficult manager because you aren't afraid of the consequences. That confidence often leads to better performance and more recognition. You become more valuable to the company precisely because you aren't acting out of a need for survival. The most common mistake people make is hitting that $20,000 mark and immediately spending it on a lifestyle upgrade, like a new car. A new car loses 20% of its value almost instantly. Beyond the depreciation, you're losing the opportunity cost of that money compounding over the next several decades. Once you have a foundation, you can stop agonizing over small purchases like coffee and focus your energy on optimizing the major expenses, your housing expenses, your daily transportation, and your investment rate. This requires an identity shift. You have to become the type of person who chooses to control their money through delayed gratification, rather than letting your money be controlled by your impulses. That first $20,000 isn't a prize to be spent. It is the capital base that allows you to choose your career and your lifestyle based on what you want, rather than what you owe.